Welcome to One of Those, the show that explores the art of sneaker culture. I'm your host, Adam Butler, back with another episode. Thank you so kindly for being here. All right, this week we're going to jump right into it because I got two dope interviews for you, man. You guys are going to love this episode. We're keeping it light. Unlike the past 2 weeks, we're keeping it light this week. First up, you're going to hear from the legend, Jacquees Slade. If you're in sneaker culture, you know who he is, man. He's been doing this thing for a minute. I had a great opportunity to sit down with him. We talk about it all. You just wait. Trust me, you're going to love that one. And then right after that, you're going to hear from my man, Fascist Citizen. I've been talking about fashion a lot on the show, trying to expand the content. Fascist Citizen is a dude that knows it all, man. Anything from high-end to street culture. He's the guy. Trust me, and we get into it all. So, without further ado, I'm not going to keep you guys waiting. First up is Jacquees Slade, then my man, Fascist Citizen. Jock, what up? Welcome to the show, man. Let's start with this, bro. Sneaker culture is growing. You are a representative of that. You've interviewed all sorts of celebrities and done different things surrounding sneaker culture. Talk to me about how much it's growing in your opinion.
I think sneakers in general has just gotten larger. You have stuff like sneaker shopping with Joe LaPuma that's obviously really big and spreading the word about sneakers. You have like Sean Witherspoon and his shoe and how that kind of broke the culture in a way. You have the Air Mag, which was a big deal a few years ago, and how that kind of has really impacted the culture. And then you have a younger generation that's doing a lot, that's reselling, that's buying and selling shoes, and that's not only exposing them to shoes, but it's also exposing their parents to shoes, because their parents are taking them to sneaker con and their parents are giving them money to buy these shoes, and they're watching their kid flip shoes and buy and resell shoes and have this sort of like this entrepreneurial spirit. So I think sneaker culture in general is getting bigger, and it's entering into the world of pop culture in general. And so I think I'm just a small part of that. I'm just one of the pieces in the puzzle that's helping to spread the word, just like the rest of us are. I think more people are starting to appreciate the art and the science behind sneakers, and you see that with like Kanye bringing like it to a more popular mainstream, Pharrell and Travis Scott and all these people that are really into this, and LeBron and all these people that are bringing sneakers into the public discourse and making it a bigger conversation piece, which naturally is going to spread out to the public, and then they're going to get involved and want to know more about it. And that's where people like you and I come in, because our friends, they see LeBron talking about this shoe, then they hit you up and be like, what was that shoe LeBron was talking about on his IG live? And then you have the information to help indoctrinate them into the sneaker world.
And now that we've seen that growth and we see where sneakers is headed, do you think that the bubble is getting ready to burst?
I don't think so. I think we think sneakers is a lot bigger than it actually is. So I don't think that the sneaker bubble is going to burst anytime soon. I think it has a long way to go. And if I have anything to do with it, I'll make sure that it continues to grow. I just think there's a lot of room, and I don't think it's as big as people think that it is.
That's right, because sneaker culture is a community, right? We want to welcome all, right?
Like, we got into sneakers at some point, and we had to start learning about sneakers, and we bought our first cool pair of sneakers and probably didn't know much about any other sneaker at that time. Only reason it's a bigger deal now is because we're all able to see that thing. Like, before, it would have just been like the people at your junior high school who saw you walk in with a pair of 270 Reacts, and then they're like, oh, he's so cool. Now the whole world knows that you got those 270 Reacts because you posted them on Instagram or TikTok or Twitter or whatever. And so, the larger community that has been into it for a long time, now they're seeing that, and they're getting salty and like, oh, we don't want all these people. But like, that was you at some point. Like, you can't knock that hustle.
All right, so you're one of the biggest in the game. You've got a large collection, man. People know you as the sneaker guy. When you're out in public, do people like ask you about sneakers, ask you weird things about sneakers, comment on your content or sneakers?
I don't try and talk a lot about sneakers. It's more of people know that I have something to do with sneakers, and so like they generally bring it up. I don't make it a point of conversation, but people will be like, "Oh, I didn't wear my cool shoes today," and I always respond to them like I don't care what you wear. Like, wear what you like. Like, don't rock something just because I'm here. Rock what you want to rock, and rock what you like. That's what's most important. I could come in here in a pair of Chuck Taylors, or I could wear some exclusive Jordan 3 that nobody has, but that's not. I wear what I want to wear, just like you should wear what you want to wear. And I think the questions are generally like, oh, how many pair of sneakers do you have? And like that's always a bit of a conversation.
Right.
But you try to steer around that and help. I try to refocus the conversation on not being like, oh, I have this many pair of sneakers, but more being like, oh, what is the sneaker that you like? This is the sneaker that I like, and like let's leave it at that.
Bro, thank you so much for joining me. Bro, thank you for being here, man. We've been trying to get this one together for a little minute. We finally here.
Yeah, it's a pleasure. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you, sir. Let's get right into it, man. You are, the name says it, Fascist Citizen. You know this game. There's a difference though, right? Explain to me the difference between style and fashion.
The difference is basically you, the person. Fashion is what we get from the runways, what we get from the magazines, the celebrities, all of that. Style is how we interpret it. So, style is as unique as a fingerprint. Fashion is just what we get from the industry.
The worlds are starting to collide, right? We're looking at all the the collabs that are going on in the world of, and that's really what this show is about, talking about sneaker culture as an art and really focusing on the art of it, right? And the culture of it. When we start to look at what's going on in the culture and it's moved past, hey, basketball player or athlete A or B has a signature shoe. Now it's Off-White, Union, right. Certain brands. What do you think about that?
It's natural. The fashion industry, if nothing else, is going to make their money. And the urban market, aka Black people, let's just be honest, have driven sales for many, many, many brands. And the Black dollar is very, very highly prized and valued. So when the industry sees that this is a thing for us, and sneakers have always been a thing for Black people, always. And the industry sees that, and they also see that with Instagram and with the social media culture, it's more important to a lot of people now to show their wealth based on what they wear. So these designers and these companies are coming out with what they call luxury sneakers, which are essentially, to me, sneakers that are made from the same materials that we get from other brands. It's just from those houses. The difference that I've noticed personally is that with Nike and other brands, you get a shoe that's probably a little more comfortable because Nike's making shoes that are practical for basketball, for different other sports. With designers, it's more so about the look. It's going to look great, but the comfort is a toss-up.
Yeah, I agree, right? And the notion of hype beasts and hyped up brands and hyped up, collaborations. Yep. A lot of people look at that in the sneaker world and they get upset about it, right? Because again, and mind you, sneakers have always had hype around them, especially in our community. I think when you expand it to the broader fashion community, it does involve more people, right? Do you think that there's a, and you may have already answered this, but do you think there's a negative side to, again, some of these fashion houses getting involved with Jordan brand, Adidas, and other staples in the sneaker community?
I think it's always a downside to things like that, because to me, the art of sneakers is something that's slowly starting to fade away. Like the actual design quality, that when you see a new release that like, oh my gosh, I need those. That feeling, to me at least, is starting to slowly dissipate. It's kind of like, okay, that's a cool shoe, but I don't really need it. And then depending on the price point, which is now elevating because, people feel the need to pay a certain amount of money in order to say like, I've arrived. So all of this is kind of catering to those hype beasts, super consumers. And I think that's the only downside of it. They're churning out anything and people will wear it because it's expensive, as opposed to somebody saying this aesthetically is a dope shoe. It's comfortable. It's great looking. I can wear it with jeans and shorts, whatever. It's just like they'll dump anything out there and put a $700 price tag on it and people go nuts.
Yeah, that's a great point. And it goes back to what you said in the beginning. That's why I really wanted to ask you about the difference between fashion and style, right? Because style is personal, right? If you get caught up
Mm-hmm.
in I saw somebody on TikTok, she talked about the difference between drip, style, and fashion, right? And she described drip really is just sort of like hype beast. You wearing you just going and you dress like your favorite rapper and you just doing
Yeah,
that, you dripped up. Your style is a more natural thing, it's a more personal thing. It's the really, she was, the way she was saying is like, that's the way you should go. I agree
yeah,
with that. And that fashion is like, it's art, it's the runway, it's things like that, what I mean? And again, it's a beautiful thing. I very much support that, but when we talk about style, I feel like that's what you're getting at. Like, you don't have to have on an off-white Jordan 5. You can have on a Jordan 5, and if you have style, you can make that work. And style, and tell
definitely.
me what you think about this. Style comes from confidence, correct?
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. Because like to me, you can go to the thrift store and find a pair of Jordans and clean them real good and throw them on with like a great pair of jeans that you got, or like a outfit that you like, man, oh, that's would go perfect with that. And people are looking at it like, man, I'm about to dig my old Jordans out. And man, I'm about to get my old Chucks out. Cause like the way you wearing it, man, it inspires me. And that's how, if designers and brands were more hip to that part of it, like it's how people wear shoes that gets the real folks to spend money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Most of these, these celebrities and stuff, they're just throwing on, most of them have a stylist. Let's just talk about that. Most of them have a stylist. Yeah. So the stylist is picking out these fits, or not picking out, because I hate to reduce stylists to that, but stylists are curating your image based on a whole host of things. And they're, putting these outfits together for you. So you wearing it, most times, some of those people don't even have real style. They're just styled. Mm-hmm. So you're trying to be like somebody who doesn't even have their own style. So it's like it's anybody's guess.
Mm-hmm. That's why that's so important, man. That whole, if you look good, you feel good piece. I think that's interchangeable, because if you feel good, you look good as well. You know what I mean? Right. Like when it goes together. And, when we do a show like this, especially, some of the stuff I've done in the past that hasn't been related to sneaker culture and, fashion or anything like that. Right. A lot of people that follow me over to this page are like, well, yo, the superficial piece, they want to understand that. And that's why I really say, like, no, we're talking about the art, because I do think, like, when you first of all, Black people have been fashionable since the get-go, right? That's very much a part of our culture, right? Yeah. But it wasn't always focused on having the most expensive thing. It was doing more with less. That's why I'm glad you brought up the thrift, right? I had Damian Chu on the show last week. Dope Closet Thrift. Follow that man. He's super dope. I'm going to the Goodwill a little bit later on today, because again, you find all sorts of stuff in the consignments and the thrifts is about making stuff work, man. I'm so happy you brought that up, man. I want to talk about you for a couple of minutes before we wrap things up, bro. Talk about the Fascist Citizen brand. What's going on with that? What's new?
Well, I'm trying to branch out a little bit this year. I haven't really pushed any new designs. So what I'm looking at now is consolidating what I have, kind of pushing what works, pulling back on some things that I may want to, kind of put away. I'm working on a new logo redesign. So once that is officially done, I'm going to officially retire the original logo and now use this new logo that I'm really excited about. It's coming up, and I want to do a little bit more with this. So I may do not so much cut and sew pieces, but I may do some like one-of-one type drops. So it's all based on this new logo. I'm trying to like push and do more with what I have. So I'm excited about the potential of it. I'm just kind of letting that stuff flow. I'm not trying to be the next Off-White. I'm just trying to do me. So I'm just going with that.
And you're doing you well, brother. I see you. We rap every now and then, man. I'm super proud of you, man. I've seen your growth, man. So happy for you. Hope to have you back with the show, because I think you could add a lot of insight to what we're doing over here. What are those, man? Thank you so much, bro.
Definitely. Glad to be here.
Big shout out to the fellas for joining the show. Follow them both, man. Super insightful. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Thank you so much. Enjoy your summer. I've been saying it all summer, man. I know that it's the time for vacations and everything. Matter of fact, I'm headed on another one right now. I'm not wasting this summer, and I'm not going to waste your time. Just make sure you follow me, MSR_Adam, MSR_Adam, for all things podcast. Also follow me on TikTok, the Butler Did It Podcast. We're rolling over there, man. You should definitely follow me. Follow the team, Up On Game Network, the Up On Game Network. all sorts of content over there. We're growing. And of course, follow the squad, the OMFnetwork. We are growing as well. You need to go there for all of your sneaker content 24/7. All right. Remember to mind your mental health. Always do that. Remember to mind your physical health. Vitally important. And never ever forget, and don't stop being great. I'm up out of here.